Everyone. Welcome in to Bet, Win, Repeat. I'm your host, Hannah Mears. You can follow me over on my social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, at Mears Hannah, listed below. Every day, I'm giving out a Mearsy minute, and I'm talking about my best bets of that day, whether it's that day, 2 days in a row, whatever it might be. I'm always putting those out. You can also find them by subscribing to our YouTube channel. So on Picks and Parlays, that's a short that comes out on a daily basis. So make sure you like and subscribe. Ring the bells for notifications so you don't miss any of that going on. This is our Bet, Win, Repeat show. So make sure that you also get all of the access that you want to Picks and Parlays. Download the new Picks and Parlays app. It is available across all platforms. That's such an easier way for everybody to have all of their free picks, all of their favorite handicappers right in one spot. So download that app. We all need more apps on our phone, right? So download the Picks and Parlays one. Make it your favorite. Also, don't forget about Beers with Mears. That's my new show on Picks and Parlays. It's super fun over on our YouTube channel. It's also available on Spotify. I've had guests like Ryan Clark, Jay Billis. We had Christian Kuhn, Steelers long snapper, on last week, which was really, really fun to hear about him, his story, being a specialist in the NFL, but he didn't really transition into being a long snapper until after college. He was a linebacker in college and now was a long snapper. So pretty crazy to transition at the highest level. So his story is really cool. Make sure you check that out. Those episodes release every other Thursday. So at midnight, every other Thursday. And then the Beers with Mears social channels are live as well. Follow it on Instagram and TikTok, and you'll get to see all the little snippets from those. Also, don't forget about our friends over at Caesars Sportsbook. They're giving you a risk-free first bet up to $1,250, win or lose. You'll still get 1,000 reward credits and 1,000 tier credits. All you've got to do is use my promo code MEARSFUL. Don't forget, here on Bet, Win, Repeat as well, this is a platform now where we talk a lot of content, not so much contests anymore. Over on our Picks and Parlays Facebook group page is where you can find all of our contests. And this is a weekly update. So we didn't have the winner last week. It carries over to this week. So that's why you see that weekly update of a $200 prize. So Brian, Eddie, Alex, Julie, Anthony, they're all still live for that $200 prize. And don't forget that you can be a part of these contests too. Go ahead and join our Picks and Parlays group page over on Facebook. And we have like weekly, monthly contests. So super fun. Can't go wrong with any of that. Now it's time to sort of get in the thick of things. There's a lot going on in the sports world right now. MLB is in full swing. No pun intended. The NBA playoffs are here and the NHL playoffs as well. So to talk about some of that, I'm going to bring in my guy, Jesse. We've got a lot to talk about here, Jesse. So first and foremost, just tell me how you're doing. Looks like you're sitting on the beach. I wish I was right now, but how have you been, Jesse? What's up?
I've been doing well. I've been things have been rolling. I'm coming off of a bit of a disappointing night with the hockey last night, and that kind of breaks my heart. I am Canadian.
Why? What went wrong? What did you think was going to happen versus what actually ended up happening?
I had the Boston Bruins, and I'd been saying the entire series that Boston's going to win it in a gentleman's sweep. And I felt really confident that Boston was going to win last night. And yeah, I was shocked.
Most people would have agreed with that coming into this, right?
Mm-hmm. That's hockey, though. Expect the unexpected. I came into the playoffs as the number one handicapper with hockey at Picks and Parlays, but I've had a bit of a rough go in the first half of the first round. So we're looking to improve with the hockey picks, but the NBA has been scorching hot for me and baseball as well. So, take the good with the bad, I guess.
Yeah, I want to get into that in just a second. But for hockey, I think it's tricky to bet on hockey sometimes, especially when you get to the playoffs, right? A lot of this is about goaltending. There's just a lot of crazy things that can happen in the playoffs. All of a sudden, a team decides to be good. Another team, that's a lot of games to be playing in a row. So what is your key when you're making your hockey bets? Advice to make NHL playoff bets right now to our listeners out
there? I do like a lot of different options. Look at the side, look at the total, look at the player props. I like a little bit of first period props. And don't be surprised when you see close games. If you can get reasonable prices on puck line underdogs, grab those up because you look at the scoreboard and how many of these games are decided in overtime, 1-goal games. If you're taking the puck line, take the dog, not the favorite. That's what I'd say.
All right, that's a good piece of advice. See, always different changes as the seasons go on. Let's get into NBA a little bit. The NBA playoffs have been crazy. I mean, especially when you have someone like LeBron James doing what he does and when he gets disrespected and then comes back with like a 20-point double-double. Insane. I actually predicted that. I was happy. My NBA bets have been rolling this week too because honestly, a lot of the guys you expect to do good start playing really hard as we're coming toward the end of some of these series. Maybe a surprising team right now in some cases, the Atlanta Hawks. What's your overall thoughts if you've paid attention to anything within the Celtics and Hawks series?
I believe in the last game, the Hawks had to rally from a double-digit deficit, like in the last 5 minutes. So it's really hard to know what to think of that. Like, it's not like they won the game handily. I mean, they had a good final 5 minutes of the game. How can they reproduce? I'll say right now, I didn't play the game tonight. I passed. It's a difficult one for me to handicap, but if I did play it, I would lean towards Hawks first half or Hawks first quarter. They're back in the series now. They're back home. The home teams tend to get off to a hot start behind the home crowd and the energy. And the road team that's the favorite, that's already leading in the series, if they can weather that storm, they sort of feel comfortable that they have them right where they want them if they're in striking distance after the first quarter or after the first half. So that would be my lean. But I don't trust the Hawks. Nobody's playing defense in this series. Every game's gone over.
Right, which is actually why, Jesse, when I did my Mearsy Minute today, I looked at that over, sitting around 231. These two teams, when they've been playing, averaging 236 together. That's the average. Two of the games have gone over like 250. And when you look at a team, like you just said, the Atlanta Hawks, who they're at home, they might come out fiery. No one really trusts them, though. So then you could also see them giving up a lot to the Celtics. But the Celtics kind of have something to prove right now. Like, they were up 2-0. People thought, this is a team that's an absolute shoo-in, and then you're letting the little Atlanta Hawks sneak up on you a bit. I can see them being a little fiery and needing to score a lot more tonight. Jason Tatum was 1 for 10 from the three-point line the other night, which was not like him. So I'm predicting him to be shooting a lot of threes tonight as well. So that was another prop bet I had because I could really see that one being a high-scoring game.
I agree. Yeah, I expect it to be high. I mean, how could you not expect it to be high scoring? Look at this series so far, and I just don't trust either of these two teams to come out and play a strong defensive game.
Yeah, I don't either. Something else that I've also been interested in the series of the Warriors and the Kings. Golden State right now leads 3-2, but it didn't really start that way. Everyone was really riding high on the Sacramento Kings, and I know there was issues with Fox right now with the Kings as well, and he did play last night, but everyone was saying like, oh, was he at his best? Was his injury something? Regardless, last night, Golden State won pretty handedly. I actually picked them on that one. So what are your thoughts on that series? How do you think this one ends up? Do you think it goes all the way? And do you think the Kings come back and take this?
It was a big play for me, Hannah. I was on Sean Higgs' Midday Money show, and I told Sean, break out the pen, mark my words. And he wrote it down, and that means they make fun of me if I'm wrong. I said, take the Warriors. What I really loved about that game is when the news came out about the Fox injury, the line went to Warriors -4.
Yeah,
so then they said,
I got it.
And then they say, oh, Fox is going to play. Now it's close to a pick 'em. And I'm like, wow, I'd rather, if I'm betting on Sacramento, I'd rather have them sit and have other players step up. But having a guy with a broken finger trying to play, I mean, look at how it worked out for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
With Giannis playing hurt. They're going golfing now. If you're not 100%, you might not be effective. Actually, Fox played pretty well last night, all things considered, but not good enough. And I had the Warriors last night. I think the Warriors will close it out in Game 6 in Golden State.
Yeah, I looked at that game in advance. I put my picks out for that on the day before it came out. I said, everyone pay attention to this Warriors-Kings game that's going to be happening with this potentially Fox being out, and get this line when it moves. Because if he's out, the Warriors should be a shoe-in at -4.5. But if he's in, this is going to change in Sacramento's favor. But I still like the Warriors And sure enough, that happened. So you and I were on the same wavelength with that for sure. Let's transition a little bit here into baseball. My Pittsburgh Pirates, okay, are on a hot streak, sitting first in the NL Central Division. I covered yesterday what I was doing, why I had to sort of switch shows here. Brian Reynolds, I was covering the news about him signing a six-figure contract, over 106 million with a 9th-year option. It was a really cool vibe here in Pittsburgh to see that happen, because that's sort of like the final page turning to needing to just propel this team forward for the rest of the future of where this franchise could be. So it was very exciting to get to cover that yesterday. Now I think they're up 3-2 on the Dodgers right now again. Won last night. What do you think is cool about seeing a team like the Pirates, who has struggled so long, coming into baseball and being first in their division and really like second or third overall in the league?
Well, I've already said that it looks like the Pirates have a chance to duplicate what the Orioles did last year in the AL East. Of course, the Orioles didn't really get them that far, but I mean, they were a great feel-good story. They won more games than they were expected to win. And I think that's the ceiling for the Pirates. I mean, I'm not, I wouldn't set the ceiling too high, but great team with great young players. It remains to be seen how long they can keep it up, but I won't be stepping in front of them. I haven't bet against the Pirates yet this year, I don't think, and until things change, I'll probably be riding them at the way the bookmakers are pricing them right now. I mean, they were a big underdog at home to the Dodgers today. How could you bet against them?
Yeah, it's fun to take the Pirates kind of early, because I feel like a lot of odds makers still don't have faith. They're still riding on like what was happening last year. And so like take advantage of that while you can when you have a young, hot, fiery team coming out of the gates. What are some of the other plays in the MLB for you? You said you've been having success in the NBA and MLB sphere. What sort of plays in the MLB have been going in your favor lately?
Let me think. What has been successful for me? I mean, I like to keep my options open. I play more favorites than dogs. I'm not a real dog guy. I'll take it if I do take dogs. I look to take them on the run line, and I would say that run line dogs is an underrated play in baseball as well. I mean, you look around, you see how many of these games are decided by one run. I mean, I don't know. I don't have one single strategy for baseball. I'm diverse. I'm betting total. Like today, I've got a total up for sale at Picks and Parlays. Often, dogs, favorites, run lines, whatever I can take advantage of.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Yeah, the MLB has been really exciting to watch. I mean, we're starting out with all these historical moments between the Rays and everything going on with the Pirates and things really happening. And then you have a team like the Oakland A's. We find out they're moving. I'm so curious, because I haven't been able to talk to anybody about this. I know it really doesn't go along with betting too much, but I mean, people in Vegas are going to love this shift. What do you think about a team as historical as the Oakland A's transitioning? Do you think this is going to work well for them? Like the market wise type of stuff? Like, why is Oakland losing all these teams?
Yeah, it's a good question. I guess you got to ask the city council in Oakland. I would think perhaps
like you lost two of the most historical franchises in sports, right?
Yeah, no, but I hear some. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about the exodus out of California. People are unhappy in I've heard that people are unhappy in California.
For what reasons? For just because this is happening, they're moving out?
Cost of living, politics, cost of living, crime, a lot of liberal policies when it comes to crime, and like, for example, a lot of stores closing because people just walking in, stealing everything. So I think there was a major box, not Walmart, one of those other big, huge stores just shut their doors in San Francisco the other day and said we're closing all of our stores in San Francisco. So yeah, I mean, that might have something to do with why major league sports teams are leaving California. That's my best guess anyways.
Yeah, it's not sustainable for that long, right? It's just simply not anymore. But there are a few major league teams still down there. National Football League's got a couple in California, and the draft is going to be kicking off tonight. So I feel like we'd be remiss not to talk a little bit about what's going on in the NFL sphere right now. Jesse, who's your NFL team that you're paying close attention to? Like, who do you root for? So who you're looking at tonight?
I'm not a real fan.
Okay.
I cheer for a different team every week. And I don't really get it. The most exciting thing about the draft for me is trying to beat the NFL Combine bench press records of the young kids coming in. And I've got my heart set on beating Derrick Henry's record for the bench press, 22 reps at 225. And Derrick Henry's obviously like a beast, right?
Are you anywhere close? Are you anywhere close?
Oh yeah, no, I beat George Kittle's score was 18, and I beat that. And I'm 46 years old. I'm kind of fat and old and stuff.
But you have someone there making sure you're at that like 90-degree, like you're down, you're up.
Yeah, I mean, you can check out the video on YouTube. I mean, it's pretty solid. And I will beat the Derrick Henry score too. So, I mean, that's my take on the draft is beating the kids' NFL Combine bench press scores.
Look at that.
Yeah,
right. I feel like we need lines out for this. There's so many things we could put out on our Picks and Parlays website about lines, just like, things that we partake in on the sides, besides just putting out sports bets, right? That's a fun one.
I think that's a really fun one. Or betting steak dinners and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm here for it. You want to bet me a steak dinner? Absolutely. Sign me up. I'll be paying close attention to what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing. Obviously, here in Pittsburgh, I'm also hosting their draft show tomorrow. So I'll be interviewing whoever the first round pick is tonight. So I'm very excited to see who that is. It's a Ford interview that I have to do. I'm really excited about it. It's curious to see where the Steelers go. I know Detroit Lenny. Look at him. If nobody can see him right now. He's already got his jersey on. He's got the Lions draft hat this year. Big fan of the draft hats this year, by the way. I have to bring you in to show this off, right? So, you've got the new draft hat on.
I got my Rodrigo jersey on. Because he was a good
I actually saw him when he was when the Lions were in Pittsburgh. He was filming something with NFL Films, and he came to the restaurant we were at because I was eating with one of the directors who I know there. And he had his whole family with him. And apparently he's an awesome guy.
I like him. I bought his jersey. So,
me too.
That's all. I just wanted to say go Lions.
He looks like
the road to the Super Bowl starts today, and it goes through Detroit. Let's go.
All right. There's the stamp that we needed. Jesse, where can everybody find you in your latest plays over on Picks and Parlays? What are some of the things that you've been hot on lately to let everybody know what to take advantage of? Because if they go over to picksandparlays.net and use promo code MLB right now, they're going to get 20% off the entire site. So they can get a lot of what you've got to offer at a discount.
I have a top-rated total on tap tonight in Major League Baseball. And I have a soccer play going off pretty soon, actually, in the next hour. Doing pretty well with soccer. Not a lot of people are interested in soccer, but I live here in Thailand. You might notice the beach behind me. And Thailand soccer is a big deal over here. So I do pay attention to the soccer. Hockey, we're looking to get back on track with the hockey. Currently number 2 overall at Picks and Parlays with hockey for the year, but been a rough couple days, so we're looking to get back on track with that tomorrow.
We'll get back into it, right? I had a little bit of a slump for a while. I was riding a high 8-game win streak and then had 5 wrong, and now we're back up again. So, we go through the ups and downs of betting. However, downloading our app and also using promo codes, going over to our site, taking advantage of it all. Ride the highs and lows with us, but you'll get to see more consistently, before you place your bets, who's hot and who's not, so that you're making the most accurate picks on a daily basis. Jesse, it was a pleasure getting to talk to you. It was our first time doing Bet Win Repeat together, so thanks for stopping by with me.
Yeah, we'll do it again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Everyone, this is Bet Win Repeat. That was Jesse. We've got another guest coming on, Mr. Terry Edelman, who I know a lot of you have seen before. He's all hockey all the time. And I have to ask you, I know you have Blue Jays baseball jerseys in the background right now, but you're a hockey guy through and through, right? Anytime I go and I need some hockey picks, I'm looking for your advice, your input. I know you follow it so much. What have been some of the most interesting things that you've seen happen, maybe unexpected so far in the NHL playoffs?
Well, I think for most people, it would be the Seattle Kraken. Now, I
Mhm.
can't say that because I've backed the Kraken throughout this entire series. I backed the
You did,
Kraken,
because
and
last time I talked to you, we said, "What's crack-a-lackin'?" Like, we were all in for
certain people, cough cough, Detroit Lenny, I thought it was
it.
a bit crazy taking the Seattle Kraken, but I think they're the biggest surprise of the NHL playoffs. Um, they're up 3-2 on the Colorado Avalanche, so I think that's no, I'm not going to get into it.
Very rare.
Uh,
Knowing about the rest.
no.
That listen, I was scrolling through social media and I saw that, the Spit and Chicklets podcast, those guys were going in on the reffing, saying this is getting out of hand, ridiculous. So Terry, for anyone who doesn't know, just give us a brief overview of maybe some of the big moments that were because of referees. Like, what is everybody referring to right now? What's going on in the NHL playoffs? This is an important topic.
It's every single series, once a game at least. The referees are making outrageous calls. I could talk about my Minnesota. Obviously, I'm not going to blame the referees, but the referees have been really tough on Minnesota, being one specific team. But it's just been the whole playoffs. Refereeing has just been awful, and it's just awful. It's
Yeah.
their focus should be on getting the call correct. That should just be the focus. It shouldn't be who did it or what have they done in the past or was it like they're just. I don't want to get too much into the refereeing because I
Okay,
went on my
but
rant already
for
about it.
anyone who
So
doesn't know, this has been a topic that it is important to bring up just to let people know what's
yeah.
going on in the NHL world, especially in the playoffs. That if you see anything being addressed in regards to refereeing or you see any headlines coming out, this is why. There's been some really questionable calls throughout every single series. So thank you for helping us enlighten us on everything there. Are you surprised by any series? Rangers and Devils, for example, tied at 2. Who do you think comes out on top in that one? Because this Devils team's like young, they're fiery, they're fast, and I think they're surprising a lot of people here and there. So what do you think?
That's my toughest series. I think that's a
Mhm.
50-50 series. I think it's a road series. So I think the road teams have won all 4 games. So I
Wow.
would lean with the Rangers. I just don't like what I've seen from them the last couple of games. But that was in New York. Now they're in New Jersey. That's a game I'm staying off of. I do have player props though in the other 2 games.
Well,
So
give
I
us a
do.
give us a sneak peek. I know everyone needs to go to the website and get a lot of your exclusive content that you have, but if there's
Mm,
anything that you do want to share on here, let us know.
Yeah, so I don't have any player props up on the site. It's just side and totals.
Okay, well then
So
perfect. Let's get to it.
you can get my picks there. The Toronto Maple Leafs. That's another surprise. The Toronto Maple Leafs have not made it past the first round since 2004. So
Yeah.
that is 19 years since the Leafs have made it past the first round. They have a 3-1 series lead. They just need to win tonight, and they've done it. They've broken their long streak.
Especially
I'm
against
gonna,
a team like Tampa Bay, who I feel like when playoff hockey comes around, they're at their best. So this has been an
yeah,
impressive series for the Maple Leafs, really making a stamp about who they are.
yeah, and they're a big favorite. Not really a big favorite, but I think minus 145, minus 150. So out of my price range, or minus 160, yeah. But it's player props that I'm going with here. Yeah, hard to trust the Leafs, and I don't. I
Yeah.
don't trust the Leafs, but I trust the Leafs players. Mitch Marner, all 4 games in the series, he has multiple points. So you can get him for over 1.5 points at plus 125. He has multiple points in all 4 games. Austin Matthews, he has multiple points in 3 of the 4 games in the series, plus 145 for him. I'm on William Nylander to get an assist. He's done that in 3 of the 4 games, plus 130. And Ryan O'Reilly to get an assist, plus 150. He is an assist in 3 of the 4 games.
Mhm.
Uh, I like 4 Leafs props. I think the Leafs get some goals tonight. But it wouldn't shock me if Tampa wins this game 4-3 or 5-4. Wouldn't surprise me if Tampa gets the win, but I'm going to back
I
the
like
top
it.
players have shown up for Toronto, and they haven't in a lot of former years.
And well, it's hard to say. Like everyone's just sort of waiting for them to crumble. I feel like, which is not really fair, judging by what they've been able to do. But yeah, I think when you're in a series like this that's tight and your team's riding high, and you're not really expected to be, then you look at those big guns to be firing because they're going to have to rely on that. And you know what I always say about, like, if anyone's questioning what's going to happen, if or the ref's going to make a call, is this: don't give them a reason to put it in their hands. Score a couple goals early, play good defense, and don't give them a reason to decide the game. I feel like that's in a lot of sports. You can complain about it all you want. Don't give them a reason to decide. So if those big guns step up and do what you say, then they should be absolutely fine. That's game 6, right? That's TBD of a time right now, but that's happening on Saturday.
No, today.
No, that's today first. Game
Leafs
6
game.
to you. So today at 7
so,
is this game, right? Game 5 tonight at 7.
Yeah.
Toronto leads
So
the
if
series
the Leafs
2-1.
win it, the series is over.
All right.
They'll knock
So this
Tampa out
is
of
a
the
big
park.
one. Everyone's got to tune in. Terry's thinking that there's going to be a lot riding on these player props right now. So
Yeah.
any other series you're paying attention to? I know Jesse was talking about the Bruins right now and what's going on with them. The Panthers giving them a run for their money. Boston leading the series 3-2. They play tomorrow at 7:30. Who are you leaning towards in that one? Because the Bruins are the team that everyone was like, this team's unstoppable. I wouldn't want to play the Bruins in the first round. So how do you feel about this one?
I was on the Bruins puck line yesterday, so unfortunately that didn't go well. But player props, Taylor Hall. I got him plus 275 to score yesterday. He did score. He scored, I think, in 4 of the 5 games. So Taylor Hall, anytime goal is a great bet. He's just finding the back of the net, and it's a great price for him. So I'll be betting that. When it comes to side or total, though, I might just stay off. I can't see the Bruins losing this series. But it's the playoffs. Anything can happen.
Yeah, definitely. I have to ask you as well, transitioning over into what's going to be happening tonight. I'm sure this is going to be a lot of viewership split between watching a lot of the playoffs, baseball, and also the NFL draft. Terry, who's your team?
The Vikings.
All right. And okay, that's an exciting team to be watching right now, right? Like, they're investing in a lot of fifth-year options. I've seen that happening lately. How are you feeling about the Vikings and what they're going to do in the draft? What do you think they need to do?
I haven't really been following it too much.
Okay.
The Vikings have had already a big offseason where they've changed a lot. So I don't really know what to think upcoming this year because they've made a lot of changes. Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings entering the draft with 5 picks over the 3-day span. So that could be a lot to look forward to on what's happening. So it's always good to look ahead and think, what does my team need? I know for me, I'm looking at, I hope the Steelers are going to be looking toward maybe upping the offensive line, protecting Kenny Pickett, getting Najee Harris some coverage as well. But I mean, you guys are coming back in with Justin Jefferson, who was the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year, which is exciting. Kirk Cousins actually did pretty well for the most part. The Vikings did well, but they won a lot of those close games. So I'm sure they're going to be looking for some of those playmakers to help them not exactly have that, I guess you could say, those indecisive games or have everybody question them a little bit. So that'll be exciting. They've got to pick in the 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds. So exciting to see where they go for you. Hopefully some fun stuff can come out of this draft. I'm really excited for it. I'm kind of always ready for the draft to be over as well. I'm sick of the mock drafts. It never ends up going the way people want. Even like some of the biggest experts a lot of the time get like 1 out of X amount of picks that they thought were going to happen. So we'll see how that works. Vikings best case scenario is a wild card berth. The Detroit Lenny is saying, yeah, I think they got
what to expect with no Aaron Rodgers. I think Green Bay is taking a step back. Everyone is talking about the Bears. Come on now.
But the Bears. Here's the thing: when Justin Fields is good, he's good. He's a hard quarterback to stop, but they can't just rely on that. And a lot of those wins, it was because he decided to run for X amount of yards and it was insane. And all these fantasy points, like he was the guy to watch for a while, but he's got to stay healthy. They've got to get him protection. They've got to find a way to change that game plan so then they don't have to throw the ball as much because he is a run first quarterback. But I agree, when you look at that division with Green Bay possibly taking a step back, or what some people are predicting, maybe was it Aaron Rodgers? Was that the issue? I don't think so. So I kind of agree with you there. I'm excited to see what that Jets team does, though. When you mentioned Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if anyone's seen the memes out lately, but they're hilarious between him and Zach Wilson and what Zach Wilson was saying. if a veteran comes in, I'm going to give that guy hell. Good luck giving Aaron Rodgers hell. I think he is probably, if I had to like title him as something, I don't want to get into any sort of argument with him. I feel like he's one of those people that can just like absolutely hurt you like deep in your soul. Like one thing he'll say is going to just like crush you inside. He's just that kind of guy. So God bless Zach Wilson over there,
You
because
don't
I
want to
think
piss him
Zach
off when
can't
he's
stay.
been eating those magic mushrooms either. Because,
Yeah, right. I mean, he's got a
you
lot
don't know what
going
you're going to
on.
get then.
I'm glad he got a haircut though. Lenny, I want you to come in really quick because I want you to want you to do something on here. We were just talking about the Lions, we talked about the Vikings, you know, you've got all this Midwest stuff going on, if you want to call it that. Your Lions, what are you hoping they do? Your like top 2 things you want to see come out of this draft. What would make it successful?
Defense. I just want defense. We got 2 picks in the first round, 6 and 18. I want both defense. I want that kid Cansey. I like him.
Elijah, my pick guy, Elijah
I'm not. Yeah, 100%.
A lot of people had predicted that he's going to go in the top 20. He was someone that kind of snuck in, but he was fabulous at Pitt. He would be a great pickup for you guys.
I'm not opposed to picking it up. Like, I don't know if he falls to me at 18, but I think it's too high at 6. But I'm okay with it, kind of thing. I also have heard some rumors on my end and the Detroit sports media world that we've been in contact with Arizona a lot today, and Arizona has the 3rd overall pick. So don't be surprised if the Lions move up from 6 to 3. And if they move up from 6 to 3, that they want somebody, and they might go after.
They want a good edge. They want a good edge rusher for sure.
I hope so. I hope they don't draft a quarterback. That's all I don't.
Here's what I think. I would hope they don't draft a quarterback, because the situation they've got there right now is they've got a guy who is literally giving his heart and soul and proving that he deserves to be there. I always understand the value of having a backup. I don't think this quarterback draft class is talented enough where I think you need to snag a quarterback right now. I just don't. I think you can wait for that till next year. There's too many more important pieces that the Lions need to focus on. So I agree with that.
I hope. I saw somebody's dream scenario was they got like Cansey or Carter at 6 and then Bijan at 18. And I'm like, well, that's not going to happen. But I'd like to dream too. But
I think Bijan's going to be gone far before that.
Right. And to be honest with you, if he's there at 6, I mean, I know we have DeAndre Swift, and we just picked up what's his name from Philly. I can't think of his name, but you running back, you need they're like linemen.
Yeah,
abundance of them.
I think I could see a lot of linemen. I think defensive line and offensive line are going to be big in this draft early this year, especially when you're seeing about the impact that edge rushers and defensive linemen are having right now and the value that they're bringing, even like the linebackers. But I also think just the way you're seeing quarterbacks get hit right now because of that, boosting this offensive line for a lot of guys. And we're seeing that transition we talked about in quarterbacks, the turnover of young quarterbacks. Everyone's priority should be protecting those guys right now. So interested to see what happens tonight. I will be in contact with you depending on will the Lions move up to number 3. Terry, also want to let everybody know if you want any of what Terry's got going on over on the website, head over to picksandparlays.net. Use promo code MLB. It's going to save you 20% off of the entire site. So head over there for Terry's best bets. He gave you some fabulous player props. If you missed that, no worries. We'll have this video available for replay so you can scan through and get some of those best picks. Don't forget to join our Picks and Parlays Facebook group page for all of the contests over right now. $200 in the pot this week for the winner. And also don't forget to download our Picks and Parlays app. It's available on all platforms. Until next time, for Bet Win Repeat, we are live 1 p.m. Eastern on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. I'm Hannah Mears. That's Detroit Lenny. That's Terry Edelman. And we will see you guys later.